Have you ever wondered what would happen if you were just sitting down and having a cup of coffee or maybe a slice of pizza, and suddenly Jesus appeared before you? And he didn't look like Jesus from of old. He looked like someone that you would see walking down the street in 2023. What kind of questions do you think Jesus might ask us if he did appear? What would he want to know about how we're living our lives, and how would he grade our efforts and give us feedback on what we should do? The young people of St. Therese parish, the young adults, have put together a little vignette that describes what might happen if Christ appeared right today.
Hey, how'd the drive go to get donations for the shelters in town?
Not great. We tried to make a big deal about it, but nobody seemed interested.
Yeah, the same thing happened with the banquet. People just said it was too boring to come and help out.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it goes. Nobody seems that interested anymore anyway.
People just seem way too busy right now. I don't know, they just don't have the time to do anything. It's pretty sad. People just have way too many things going on and they just never have time to volunteer.
Yeah, it really sucks that we can't do more to help out.
Yeah, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it anyway. Plus, I'm too busy to take anything else on.
I'm the same way. My life is just really chaotic right now.
Didn't you guys volunteer at your church still?
We used to, but they don't have anything really organized.
Yeah, I agree. They're never organized enough to get anything done.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
Yeah, I've never seen you here before.
Oh, you've all seen me, in one way or the other. I've been here helping you guys out. I'm surprised you don't recognize me.
Yeah, I've never seen you before. What's your name?
Jesus. That's weird. I don't know how you don't recognize me. I've been here helping you guys out along the way.
Like Jesus Christ who came to save the earth.
Yeah, that's me.
That can't be. Jesus had long hair and a beard. He always wore a long white garment with sandals, and he had a halo over his head.
Nah, I wanted a more modern look. I didn't want to look like that and scare you guys or anything.
Okay, so why are you here?
I'm here to help you guys out, remind you about some things that I think you guys have all been lacking, like helping out the sick, feeding the hungry, stuff along those lines. How do you guys think you guys have been doing? Well, how about it? How have you guys been doing with all those stuff? I told you to go out and baptize all the nations, and what I meant by that was try to help people in any way that you can. How's that been going? All right. Well, how about feeding the hungry? How's that?
Not as great as it could be. There's still a lot of homeless people who are hungry.
It kind of scares me though to go up and reach out to them.
You know something? They're just like us. They look like us. They do everything the same as us, except they're just hungry, and there's not much they can do about it.
We could probably do a better job at getting volunteers together.
Homelessness and hunger are two problems, even in our own country, right here in the United States, that are monumental in proportion. The federal government estimates that there are 600,000 people each and every night that are homeless, sleeping in places that are unsheltered, sleeping in places that are not intended for human habitation and are dangerous. And yet we walk by them and ignore them. Hunger is a completely different issue. That's something that gnaws at somebody internally, and to try to function when you're hungry or malnourished is one of the most difficult things that you can imagine. You know, when we face these kinds of problems, whether it's hunger or homelessness, they seem overwhelming. They seem beyond our control, and sometimes they are beyond our control. But what we can do is we can do what we can on our own effort and in the effort of our own parish here. And we can also join with others that are working in similar ways right here in Sioux Falls to try to end this serious problem. We can volunteer at the Bishop Dudley house and help with homelessness there. We can volunteer at the banquet and help serve meals for people that don't have enough to eat every day. We can generally be active in the food pantries and the various ministries that churches here in Sioux Falls provide for people that are without what they need. So we are faced with the facts as Christians that those problems of homelessness and hunger exist right in our own backyard. And we're challenged by Jesus Christ to do something to lift the burden of our brothers and sisters.
It's not just about feeding the hungry. That's like a little start of it. That's just brushing the surface. There's plenty more that we can do to help them out.
Well, they kind of scare me, and I don't always know where to get started.
Don't think of them like that. That's not how they are. They're normal people just like us, except they may suffer from hunger or maybe even addictions. We just need to do small things to try to help them out.
But how are we even supposed to do that? It's hard enough getting people to commit one time. It'll be impossible to get them to commit their time over and over again.
People volunteer all the time. We just don't think of it like that. It may be a school activity or something, but people are willing to do it, and I think they'd be willing to help out homeless people. We just need to get something out there so that people see it and they'll think to help out.
Yeah, but that stuff isn't free. Where are we supposed to get that type of money?
We have a lot of money, we just don't think of it like that. We go on vacations all the time, and we could spare a little bit of that money to help out the poor.
Sometimes the social problems that we face in the world are ones that we would like to distance ourselves from. Things like addiction, things like individuals who have been in prison and are looking for job and relationship in the world. And we tend to dehumanize people when we look at them as a case. They're human beings with their set of desires and hopes and dreams, their set of feelings, and most often, all they want is someone to relate to them and care about them. We can give money, obviously, to help eradicate a problem, but money is not the answer to everything. We need to be volunteering our time and volunteering our relationships with others to help them find a way out of the dilemmas that they're in. Because that's really what helps people. It isn't just feeding them, it isn't just reaching out to them, it's building a relationship with them where they come to understand that they're valued and that they're important. But the fact is, sometimes we're just plain afraid to do that. And when we are overcome with that fear, then we just don't volunteer those relationships that Christ is calling us to live with others.
So, what about the old and the sick? What are we doing for them? They can't go out and really do what they want, and lots of times they're stuck at nursing homes or hospitals, or even just stuck at home and they can't do much. What can we do to help them out?
I mean, not much. Not very many people want to go and work at a nursing home.
It's not really working. We just want to go and visit them, show them that we do really care. We want to show our appreciation for them because they might not see very much of it, just stuck at home or something. So, can you guys do that for me?
I guess we can. But what would we even talk about?
Think about it like you're one of them. You can't really go out and do much. You probably want somebody to come and talk to you. So, what are you going to talk to them about?
Yeah, I get it. Just be real, kind, and giving to them.
Perfect. So when are you guys going to start?
Not long ago, I was in the hospital for some health concerns, and as much as the staff in the hospital reached out and cared for me, and they did a great job of that, sometimes you can feel like you're abandoned, and you can feel like you're there and no one really cares about what's happening to you. We forget the gnawing misery that goes along with loneliness, that goes along with feeling like no one is there to help us, the feeling that we're of no use to anyone anymore. So we are called in a very special way to reach out to the elderly, the homebound, people that are no longer able to get out and about, and create not just only opportunities to visit with them, but to build relationships with them, to hear their stories, to build them up and to let them know that they're not alone.
You know, Jesus, we've got a lot of work to do, and it's going to be hard.
Well, I'll be right there with you, helping you.
How? Aren't you going to be up in heaven?
Yeah, I will be, but I'll still be right there with you, helping you along the way.
I see what you're trying to say, Lord. I know that we're called to be your disciples for life.
That sounds good. I need to get going back to heaven now. But everything that we talked about, I want you guys to keep that up. I'll be with you through every step of the way. I came to serve you so that you could serve others.
I hope you enjoyed our little effort at presenting what Christ might say to us today if he appeared. I think it calls us to think about what we need to address in our own lives, what we need to change in order to become more Christ-like in the world. In a special way, I'd like to thank the young adults that participated this afternoon, Braxton Van Kulen, Joe and Caleb Booman, James Nelson, Ava and Bella Anders.